Brittney Griner shares harrowing details of final days in Russian custody, stripped me naked in front of 7 or 8 men. By Vishwesha Kumar, published July 22, 2025. 2 minutes read. In a powerful and emotional appearance on Cam Newton's podcast, WNBA icon Brittney Griner opened up about the most traumatic and dehumanizing experience she endured during her time in Russian custody. Though Griner has previously spoken about her detainment and the difficult conditions she faced, this latest revelation painted a chilling picture of the mental and physical torment she endured just before her release. Now in her 13th season in the WNBA, Griner reflected on her 2022 imprisonment in Russia following her arrest at a Moscow airport for carrying cannabis oil. After months in one of the country's harshest penal colonies, IK2, she was eventually part of a highly publicized prisoner swap. But the days leading up to that moment of freedom were anything but easy. During the podcast, Griner described a deeply disturbing incident that occurred during her transfer from the penal colony to Moscow, a process she says was more about psychological punishment than security. The trade took a little while to happen, she said. They had to move me from the penal colony to a men's prison in Moscow. I knew I was being traded, but I think they wanted one last chance to mess with me. Quote, according to Griner, the Russian officers forced her to strip naked in front of a room filled with 7 to 8 men. They then photographed her while she stood, vulnerable and exposed, and made her spin in a circle so they could document her tattoos. They had a Polaroid. They made me turn in a circle while they took pictures of my tattoos. It wasn't about safety or process, it was about power. It was the last little thing they could do to try to humiliate me, she said. The incident followed months of hardship at IK2, a penal colony known for extreme labor, freezing temperatures, and lack of basic hygiene. But this final ordeal, Griner emphasized, wasn't about protocol, it was a calculated act designed to assert control and break her spirit. After the strip search and humiliating treatment, Griner was taken from the prison by masked Russian operatives and transported to an undisclosed airfield, one she believes isn't even marked on any map. From there, she was flown to Abu Dhabi for the final stage of her release, where she was swapped for notorious Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout in a deal facilitated by the Biden administration. Even during the flight to Abu Dhabi, Griner says the abuse didn't stop. They were taunting me the whole way. They made comments about me, my sexuality, just anything to make sure I remembered who was in control until the very end, she recalled. Despite the ordeal, Griner says she never lost sight of the finish line, her freedom. Her return to the United States wasn't just about going home or returning to the basketball court. It was, in every sense, survival. Her testimony sheds critical light on the dark realities faced by detainees in authoritarian regimes and underscores the human cost of international political bargain. Griner's resilience and courage in telling her story only amplify the importance of using her platform to speak out, not just for herself, but for others who may not have a voice. Getting back wasn't just about basketball. It was about reclaiming my humanity, she said. Related. Trash effing white girl. Brittney Griner allegedly unleashes racial slur toward Caitlin Clark after fouling out. Originally reported by Fadeaway World on July 21, 2025.